Going to be watching.
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15. Richardson will throw to start out here.
And his first look is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
2nd and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. The inaugural carry for Darren McFadden. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. They'll run for it. McFadden. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But in this stage, at that, Darren McFadden, 71 yards.
And the Commanders put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs. This one is way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
Following the get away.
Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
They start the drive with Peterson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a...
Richardson now on 2nd down.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. The tally there, -2 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Richardson shotgun on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
Richardson on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. To go for it, and that will force a turnover on downs. Here's Richardson throwing to start the drive. He completes it to Julio Jones. This will mark her 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be...
Defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. There wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
Now Richardson throwing on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Richardson.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. The left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. Operating from the gun, Richardson.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone, definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think...
It got his man.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Richardson now to throw on 2nd down. Now he steps away. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Richardson on 1st and 10. Dancing to his left.
Richardson hit it, he fumbles it.
And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Richardson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks. Evan Ingram, 53 yards. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. They start the drive with McFadden. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by an American hero, Pat Tillman. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Jason Witten in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. And that flag... So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before the half, Richardson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And the third quarter starts with a run by McFadden. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's third of the game. Picked off by Pat Tillman.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
Adrian Peterson off to the races.
Now look out to the 20.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Adrian Peterson, 95 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for...
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Hester to return from his end zone. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of... He's going to go, Darren McFadden.
Inside the 20.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darren McFadden, his second touchdown of the night.
And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2.
They'll try and run it here. And he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5.
Following the touchdown, here's Elam to kick it away.
Come on, bring it, baby.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Offense ready to get this drive underway. It's going to be pretty tough for them to match their efficiency, Charles, in that last possession, needing only the 1 play to find the end zone on the rushing touchdown.
Yeah, they got that together collectively, didn't they? Total group effort. Although the guy toting the rock, he gets all the credit. It was blocked up so well. The only thing stopping him was running into the goalpost in the back of the end zone.
On second down, here's Smith again.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Both sides were holding their breath. Relief.
and both knew it, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow. That ball gets almost like, it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. In motion comes the tight end left. Richardson looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. And up 2 scores late. No clue why you do this here, but they're going to go for the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Pick up down to the 21.
From the 21, here's a 2nd down and 4.
McFadden now on the counter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Dillon.
That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
They'll run for it with Dillon.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
They'll run here with Dillon. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. A.J. Dillon, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Following the touchdown, here's Elam to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They hand off to their big tight end, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Throwing now is Richardson.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones.
The Commander's going to use this
there after giving up the first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
3rd down and 13. Here's Richardson.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
And this one is right down the middle, and that will make this a 9-point lead.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Here's 1st and 10.
Here's McFadden as they begin on the ground. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Running again, and again it's McFadden.
And he'll get him a 1st down up past the 40 as the clock ticks on. Richardson to throw it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.